All right. Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well. So my name is Sherelle Mitchell-Shaw. I am the athletic trainer at Craddock Middle School, but for now I have been helping out at Wilson High School, and today's topic will be commotio cordis and the importance of an AED. I hope you all will have learned something new at the end of this presentation. Commotio cordis, what is it? Commotio cordis is ventricular fibrillation leading to sudden death caused by a blunt force to the chest, or said in a nicer way, it is an often fatal injury that occurs when you are hit in the chest and the impact triggers a dramatic change in the rhythm of your heart. There is no physical damage to the body. The force does not have to be powerful enough that it causes damage to the ribs or the sternum, but the blunt force has to be very precise in where and when it hits. Excuse me. What causes it? Just getting hit in the chest isn't enough to cause commotio cordis. The timing of the blow, like I mentioned before, must be at a precise moment, and that moment must be during a heartbeat and a strike in an area near the center of the heart's left ventricle. On this slide, I have two pictures. On the left, you'll see is a heart by itself and all that makes up a heart, which is your aorta, right atrium, left atrium, pulmonary artery, right ventricle, and left ventricle. The left ventricle is all that we need to worry about in this sense. On the right side, you see a body, you see a person, and you're able to see within the body. And you can see exactly where the heart is. It's kind of in the center of the chest. And then where the left ventricle is will be right here on this side. And that's exactly where a person needs to be hit in order for it to be commotio cordis. Symptoms. After being hit in the chest, a person with commotio cordis may stumble forward, they'll even collapse, and then they'll even lose consciousness. The injury won't show any outward trauma to the chest. There may be a bruise or there may not be a bruise or any indication of a serious blow. And you may not be able to detect a pulse right following the injury. And the individual hit in the chest will have stopped breathing. Now, unfortunately, it might seem the athlete just had the wind knocked out of them until someone recognizes that a much more serious event is taking place. Now the question is, can it be prevented? So there isn't an exact way to prevent it at all times, but commotio cordis, there are steps that can be taken to reduce complications from commotio cordis, including loss of life, which is step 1, have an athletic trainer present at practices and games. If possible, have them present at all practices and definitely at all games. Step 2, make sure an AED is available at all athletic facilities and that coaches and others involved know how to access it easily. And if there is an AED there, make sure you know where it's located and everybody can figure out how to get to it. Step 3, educate trainers, coaches, parents, and athletes about how to recognize commotio cordis symptoms and perform CPR and use an AED. Now, there are efforts to reduce the likelihood of chest injury itself that you, as a coach, can do firsthand. Those efforts can be making sure pads and other protective equipment are worn properly and consistently, teaching athletes how to avoid being hit with a ball, puck, or other implement that could cause this injury, and avoiding strength and weight disparities between athletes whenever possible. And then also using safety baseballs and hockey pucks whenever possible. Now, being educated on what commotio cordis is and how it occurs would open many eyes and keep people aware and alert. Most importantly, people need to be reminded that commotio cordis can happen unintentionally in the simplest of ways at any given time. Now, the importance of AEDs. An AED is one of the leading causes for the survival of commotio cordis or any heart issue. The reason of that is that in some, if not most scenarios, paramedics are not on the scene of a game or a practice, but an AED should always be there or in close range. Now on this slide, I have a video. It's about, it's going to be kind of lengthy, but I'm going to cut it kind of short, explaining how to use an AED on an adult and a child.
Every year, thousands of people die of sudden cardiac arrest.
She's unconscious. Go to the front desk, call 911 and bring me the AED.
Following the links of the cardiac chain of survival can help save lives. The sooner 911 is called, the sooner advanced medical care will arrive. Early CPR helps circulate blood that contains oxygen to vital organs. Most people experiencing sudden cardiac arrest need an electrical shock called defibrillation. Continue CPR until an AED is ready to use. An AED, or automated external defibrillator, is a portable electronic device that analyzes the heart's rhythm and determines if an electrical shock is needed to help the heart restore an effective rhythm. Most AEDs can be operated by following these general instructions. Turn on the AED. The AED will tell you what to do next.
Press pads firmly to patient's bare skin.
Make sure the person's chest is bare and dry. Use a cloth or gauze pad to dry the person's bare skin where the pads will be placed. Remove the pads from their packaging. Carefully peel off the backing from one pad and place the pad on the upper right chest. Place the other pad on the left side of the chest. Plug in the connector to the AED if necessary. The AED should start analyzing the person's heart rhythm.
Analyzing heart rhythm. Do not touch patient. Analyzing.
Do not allow yourself or anyone else to touch the person while the AED is analyzing. Make sure that no one, including you, is touching the person.
Red flashing button to deliver shock. Shock delivered. It is now safe to touch the patient. Start CPR.
After a shock is delivered, or if no shock is advised, give about 2 minutes or 5 cycles of CPR. When 2 minutes have passed, the AED should automatically begin to reanalyze the heart rhythm and will advise you with a prompt to stay clear of the person.
Do not touch patient. Analyzing heart rhythm.
Continue to follow the prompts of the AED and provide care as needed.
It is now safe to touch the patient. Start CPR.
If at any time you notice an obvious sign of life, such as breathing, stop CPR, maintain an open airway, and monitor for any changes in condition. An AED can also be used for children and infants who are not breathing. Use pediatric pads if they are available. Operate the AED and apply the pediatric pads to the child's chest the same way you would for an adult.
Do not touch patient. Analyzing heart rhythm. Analyzing. Everyone stand clear.
For a small child or infant,
All right, so as you see, we're getting ready to start to talk about infant, but in this case or scenario, we wouldn't really deal with infants. So, so I do want to point out the fact that in the beginning, when the guy was getting ready to put on the AED pads, he had the lady step off and stop doing CPR. It is okay to continue doing CPR while the person is putting the AED pads on. And when the AED instructs you to clear it, that's when all hands are off deck. But then I also want to make a note that this is no way a certification. In getting your certification as being AED or CPR certified, there is class with trained instructors for that reason. It's just a simple reminder on how to use an AED for the ones who are already certified, and then an idea to, hey, maybe I want to get certified. All right. So what does AED stand for, and what is an AED? An AED is a portable electronic device that automatically diagnoses the life-threatening cardiac arrhythmias of ventricular fibrillation. And then also pulseless ventricular tachycardia is able to treat them through defibrillation, the application of electricity, which stops the arrhythmia, allowing the heart to reestablish an effective rhythm. An AED stands for Automated External Defibrillator. Treatment. So you'll want to perform CPR right away. And then proper use of AED may also help restore the heart to a healthy rhythm. Have someone not performing CPR, call an ambulance. If no one else is available to call an ambulance, call your local emergency services while performing CPR, or continue CPR until you're able to signal for someone to help. CPR and AED use should continue until ambulance arrives unless the person has regained consciousness and appears to be stable. And if you suspect commotion cordis, fast treatment is essential. Fact to remember, for every minute that passes after losing consciousness, the survival rate drops by 10%. Who is most at risk? Baseball, football, softball, lacrosse, cricket, hockey. People who engage in full contact martial arts are also at a higher risk. There's a lot of sports out there at a lot of risk. And on this slide, I have two videos. One shows a martial arts tournament going on, and in one match, there's a guy who, you have to look closely enough, he gets punched at the right second, and he's able to take a step back, and then he collapses. So, because you guys may not have noticed because it happened so fast, I'm going to rewind it and I'm going to show you and talk you through it. You're going to want to pay attention to this guy right here. He gets punched, there. He takes a step back and collapses. Now, nobody notices that he collapsed or anything that was wrong with him. They thought he was fine just because of the fact that he was able to walk away. Now, I have a second video, which is a young little boy, youth sports player, baseball, and he gets hit in the chest, and it tells you his story.
KARK4 News at 6 continues.
It's called America's favorite pastime for a reason. During the warmer months, parents and kids flood local fields for a good game of baseball. New at 6 tonight, KARK4's Sydney Hart is live in Little Rock with more on how this popular sport became a matter of life and death. Sydney.
Well, Kim, whether you're playing here in Little Rock like the Yankees and Cardinals behind me or on your own home field, the rules of baseball are the same. But so are the dangers, and while many kids are taught to stay in front of the ball, it can be scary, just as Zachary Probus. A recent hit to the chest almost killed him.
I was playing baseball at practice, and the coach was hitting balls to us, and it hit me in the chest, and it fell down, and I picked it up, threw it to first base, and then I don't remember anything else since waking up.
When he threw it to first base, he collapsed. He wasn't breathing. He was completely blue, and they had to do CPR. He went into cardiac arrest.
And Zach's dad says his son is lucky to be alive. The blow to this all-star's chest triggered sudden heart failure.
They said normally the outcome is fatal.
But Zach is very much alive and looking forward to returning to the field as soon as possible.
It's fun just because you get to learn how to catch balls and throw balls and learn how to hit balls.
Zach hasn't thrown the ball since the accident a few weeks ago until today. He showed off his skills in hopes of hearing one thing and one thing only from his doctor next week.
I can play baseball again.
As for the rest of the family, they continue to count their blessings and look forward to cheering for their favorite Panther shortstop again in the near future.
Love your kids with everything.
All right. So you notice that in both instances, it didn't happen immediately. They both seemed fine. They both got hit. They both were able to walk away and perform something else, whether it's just get back in the stands, throw back to first base or whatnot, and then they collapse. So it's not an immediate thing, but it is fast. And if you notice, most, if not all these sports do not have pads that cover their chest. And that is one of the main reasons why these sports are ones at risk. And these are my references. So I want to thank you for watching this session. Please fill out the survey link found on the Bon Secours virtual training page. And this will help us improve our videos and present topics that you might be interested in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thank you. Bye-bye.